So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this one because it's a little bit more straightforward, and then we will get the hidden tang caught up. But I don't need all this block, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break over to the bandsaw and break it down and cut the scales out of it. So that's where we're going to start out first. I don't even know how big this is. Let's see. So it's about 1 3/4 inches. So I'm going to cut off about 1/2 inch, 2 1/2 inch things, so I have enough room to kind of flatten them back down. So I'm going to go over to the bandsaw and get that set up, and we will start working on that. All right, now we got our scales. We're gonna go ahead and flatten those out and go from there. All right, so I'm in the grinding room, and this is what I use to flatten. It's not great, it's not amazing, but it works. So I only use it for flattening handles because it goes way too fast to do anything with the blade. So that's why there's belts and hanging everything else in it. So I'll flatten these real quick and then I'll get back. All right, so I want to talk real quick about some fixtures. Now that I got my handles laid out where I want to do them, this is just an example of another knife. But these clamps from Pop's Knife Supply, they allow you to clamp your material and your blade and it's square. You know, you can put it right on the drill press. You don't have to worry about it wobbling or wiggling or anything like that. So these are really nice. They come in 3 different sizes, I believe. These are large, and they work pretty good for me for a lot of what I use. So if you want some of these, you can go over there and see Andy and the guys over there at Pop's Knife Supply. Like I say, I've got them last year, and I've used them on every build I've used. There's just a little screw underneath. Put them on something flat, tighten them up. They don't move. So what I got them for is for doing antler, stag, bone, stuff like that, which I haven't used them for that yet, but that's the reason I got these, because they clamp from underneath so you can flatten the bone or stag or anything like that, and it'll push them up from underneath where you have this flat surface on your blade and drill the holes so they come out square. So this works really great for that. So I'm gonna get the blade clamped up in that with the handle material. I'm gonna drill some holes. So what I'm doing here is I got my knife fixtured up here in these clamps, and I gotta lower the drill press down, and I'm just gonna drill the holes. Simple as that. Like I said, this is a really good fixture. You don't have to worry about putting pins in anything. You don't have to worry about locating anything. You just drill the holes, and that's it. It's clamped down real nice, nothing moves. You can throw some pins in if you want, and I might do that. But just in case. But it's like, it worked really great. So we'll go ahead and drill some holes. All right, so there's one down. Nice on the outside. This is actually some pretty nice wood to work with. Some Honduras rosewood. Never really used it before, but so I'll finish drilling these out and we'll come back. All right, so now I got my holes drilled for my pins. I'm just changing out the drill bit now so that I can drill out the hole for my lanyard tube. And then we'll be done. Okay, so now that I have one set that I've drilled the holes in, I want to keep the grain of this wood book matched. I want to kind of keep it so that it looks nice and kind of even on both sides of the blade. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this painter's tape and make sure I'm just going to put a little bit on each one. Make sure you put it on the right side, not the wrong side. And I'm going to grab this. Just kind of cut off some of this excess. So I'll do that to both sides and we'll get right back. All right, so we are back at the drill press. I've already drilled one hole for the lanyard tube. I got it pressed in there, not all the way, but so that I can still lay it flat. When using the drill press, even with the blades or the block of wood, I like to use, I got a clamp sitting here, just so that if it picks up any, it's not going to spin. It sits up against the clamp and it doesn't spin. So you don't really need it to clamp it down because the clamp keeps it from spinning. So we're going to change out our drill bits and drill the pinhole. So these are 1/4 inch pins I'm using. So I'm using an F bit, which is just a little bit bigger than the pin, so they should go in real nice. Alright, so there's one down. I'll go ahead and throw a pin in there. Just keep everything lined up. Now we shouldn't really have any issues with it moving. Spin it around. Oop, lost the pin. Interesting, because this wood is really kind of waxy. It almost looks like crayon shavings. So there's all our holes, and our pins go in, just like that. So, got all the holes drilled. You can see boom, 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 all the holes line up. So now we can take the pins out, and we can take the tape apart and separate everything out. So, all right, so here's the wood. And our tape. Here's the end of one, the end of the other. Sometimes it can be difficult, because if you press the tape down onto the wood, you can hear it moving, but it's still difficult. Let's see if we can get a little wedge in there. Sometimes that helps, but you gotta be careful with the burls. You don't want to break them. Okay, so that took me a minute, but let me see. It's hard to get the leverage sometimes to get the tape to peel off. But once you get the tape to peel off, it just comes off. There's nothing on the inside of the scales. You can stand that real quick, and there's just a little bit of residue from the tape, and it comes right off. So now we have holes for our thing. So I'm gonna stop right there, and we'll pick up with part 2 in the next video. But I feel like we're at a pretty good length right now. So once I go back and edit some things, we should be at a good thing. So we'll pick up next time cutting around the handles, and probably doing the front part of the handles as well. So